Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because this is episode 5 of Eating My Way to Obesity. As a former raw vegan, unfortunately to my dismay, I'm presently anorexic. It's salient, it's incumbent, it's imperative that I ramp up my weight. I need to amplify my BMI. If I don't, then I'll succumb to death and I'll wind up losing my vessel. I'm going to live stream myself eating this food, so if you have any comments, if you have any inquiries, please feel free to leave them in the chat section of the live stream. However, if you're watching the archive video, then you could disregard everything I just stated, and you can just indulge in watching the video in its totality, or you can fast forward to the end. It's up to you. Be a pioneer of your own destiny. Now, I got some sleep. I'm definitely fatigued, torpid, frazzled, and debilitated. I got roughly 45 hours of sleep. It wasn't high quality sleep. I sleep in the basement, and I'm constantly awakened from my slumber. But nonetheless, I still had to take care of eating. Eating is more like a chore now. It takes me anywhere from 8 to 12 hours to consume a meal. I make an earnest, diligent attempt to consume anywhere from 5 to 10,000 calories of raw fruits and vegetables. These fruits and vegetables have been thawing out. I don't cook anything. Cooking kills the enzymes, and I'm eating the same foods that I always do. So once again, to review, we have 5 tomatoes in here, 1 pear, 1 peach, 4 cucumbers, hearts of palm, zucchini, yellow squash, cauliflower, broccoli, okra, carrots, turmeric, ginger, black pepper, radishes. I omitted the cherries from this meal because I may have a second pear during the course of the meal. It's tainted, that's why it's in the refrigerator at the moment. This pear, however, is in the bowl. And the second pear, I'm going to have to cleave out the spoiled part. And I also have other foods in here. I'm trying to remember what they are. Bear with me one brief moment. I have some Brussels sprouts in here. And there was some other vegetable that is buried in the bowels of this bowl. So, just like always, I'm going to start off eating the cauliflower. I'm hoping to God that I can regain my weight. Now, this is as hard as an ice cube. My approach to washing it off was disparate than I typically do. I just utilized a Brita filter and I dumped in the water. I didn't try to drain the water out after I dumped it in, even though I typically do that. So I just don't want to damage my dentin or my enamel by eating these semi-frozen cauliflower florets. So here we have the first piece of cauliflower, and I'm going to examine it. It seems to be relatively impeccable, to say the least. It does seem to have some particles on it from the broccoli, which I'm not concerned about. Sometimes cauliflower can look a bit oxidized and a bit tainted. I want to be able to circumvent free radical damage and avert that and preclude that and preempt that as much as possible. So I try to be careful about what I put into my vessel, to say the least. I try to maintain and keep my marionette healthy, but at the moment it's unhealthy because I'm an unhealthy weight. So before I get into that, I just want to check on something on my computer real briefly. Bear with me one brief moment. I apologize about the brief hiatus. I presumed that I had a web page prompted as I was preparing my meal, but it wasn't. I must have accidentally exited out of Firefox. So let's just get that up and running. That way I have entertainment to watch for the future. Alrighty, this prompt is, so we're roughly 5 minutes into the video. I'm going to start eating now. Sorry about that. Oh, this one is actually partially frozen as well, but whatever. It's roughly 3:50 p.m., so I'll be lucky if I can finish this meal before 12 a.m. midnight. love to indulge in eating with my hands like a true savage. Our hands are the quintessential utensil that can grapple pretty much anything, and they have tremendous latitude for articulation, just like a high quality, robust action figure. That can flaunt his dynamic posability. We have another piece of cauliflower, let's get it in. And we're eating foods first that are vegetables that have a high pH level. These are alkaline foods. I don't eat anything that leaves an acidic residue in the body. Pears and peaches leave an alkaline residue in the body. When digested, they're deemed alkaline foods, even if their pH levels are under 7 before being ingested. All that matters is the end result. So as usual, within the first 10 minutes of my meal, it just consists of me scrutinizing cauliflower, examining cauliflower, and eating cauliflower. And this is the first step that I take as I make my way towards eating to become obese. Trying to find more cauliflower at this juncture is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. So by the way, this time I made a modification. I have 7 radishes instead of 6. I didn't mean to add 7, but one of them was in a bag I was about to throw out, and I thought the bag was depleted, or else I wouldn't have opened a secondary bag of radishes. So it culminated in me salvaging the final radish and adding it to the bowl, despite the fact that it was engulfed in a bag on the floor, because I thought the bag was empty. That's why you have to be diligent and vigilant and double check everything. I'll probably lose some enamel from chewing on the radishes, just because they're like ice cubes. They come refrigerated, but I stick them in the freezer. I like how they taste better when they're frozen, as opposed to when they're fully thawed out. I just think that the flavor is augmented and enhanced when food is cold, as opposed to warm or lukewarm. So those are my 2 cents. If you decide to emulate my diet, if you decide to become a raw fruitarian, if you decide to only eat fruits and vegetables, you'll take solace in knowing that everything that you put in your body, as long as you only eat raw fruits and vegetables, is chock full of phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, micronutrients, macronutrients, antioxidants, flavonoids, and other beneficial compounds that draw forth a salubrious, healthy lifestyle in which you can thrive, flourish, and prosper. Scour the bowl for more